What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a look at the most expensive, most valuable, most sought after, phrase it how you will, cards that are coming around from Premium Booster 01. It's not just buy a starter deck, get one pack of it now like it has been for a little while. Oh, no. Nowadays, we get to actually go and buy packs and boxes, although apparently in the UK it's still not out, which is endlessly frustrating to me. But the good news is we have some information about what the most valuable, most expensive, etc. cards are. And the bad news is that it doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. Honestly, it's a little bit all over the place. And I don't know exactly why, but never mind, we're going to go and have a look at it anyway. So coming in at number 10, we've got the alternate art Gecko Moria from OP-06. It is not just a whole bunch of Gold Don, and over in Japan, it basically is just a whole bunch of Gold Don as the top cards. We have got a weird top 10 compared to Japan, and it's early. Remember, the set's been properly out for like a couple of days. Let's be perfectly clear about that. But right now, our top 10 is quite different to Japan's, and I think that's kind of interesting. So Gecko Moria then, I mean, look, it's the broken card from OP-06. It's the one that on play, you choose a 4-cost and a 2-cost from your trash characters. One gets played active and one gets played rested. It's a phenomenal card. It sees a huge amount of play. Black has been dominating for a while and looks set to continue dominating for a while. And this is one of the main reasons Black has been dominating and will continue to be dominating. So I suppose it makes sense that this is coming in at around about $55 now, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So that's number 10. In at number 9, we got the alternate art of Yamato, which is also coming in at about $55, but trending just a tiny bit higher. Specifically here, we are talking about the Yamato from OP-04, and to be fair, this is another very good, very playable card. But Yamato is a lot more of a popular character than Gecko Moria is, so there's your explanation. And let's be honest, right? It's not like this is the only Alt Art Yamato in the set. There is another one. Why does this make it on the list? Because this is the more playable of them. That's literally your answer. So yeah, this is the one on play. You KO an opponent's character for cost equal to or less than the total of yours and your opponent's life. And then if you've got one or less life, add a card from the top of your deck to your life. Which, let's face it, is awesome. Coming in at number 8, we've got the Gold Roanoa Zoro Don. And one of the weird things about this is, in Japan, this is like the clear number 1 Alt Art, Gold Don. It's clear number 1. Over here is number 3. Right now, it is about a $56 card. We're early. A lot of the cards are very, very, very close together, which is, kind of understandable, honestly. But again, trending a little bit higher. And here, it looks awesome. The design is great. Zoro's a popular character. Right now, Zoro isn't really a great leader, seeing a huge amount of play. And I would, over time, expect the better leaders, their Don, to becoming more expensive. So, it's Zoro and it looks cool. In at number 7, we've got the Rebecca Don, which is coming in at about $57. These are all pretty close together right now, let's be clear. I should tell you, where we cut the top 10, it was a pretty clear cut on the top 10. Number 11 would actually have been the Gold Big Mum Don, but that's like $5 less than the Gecko Moria, so it was a clear top 10. We weren't fudging anything here. We're good. So, Rebecca, I mean, look, Rebecca's popular. The Don looks awesome. I love the Rebecca leader from OP-04 personally, but it's not really doing very much around here at the moment. So this is another case of it's just a popular character and a cool-looking Don. In at number 6, we've got the leader Sanji alternate art. And this is coming in at about $64. And this is a card I very much hope I can pull from the set. This is cool. It is a very nice card. It's a proper manga rare. Oda artwork and everything. It's the only leader in the set, and it is maybe my favourite leader in terms of effect, because activate main once per turn, give one of your characters with no on-play effect, and a cost of 8 or less rush. Yes. Give one character rush every turn? Yeah. Mega Hyper Aggro red deck? Yes, that is exactly the kind of thing I want to do. Now, at the moment, coming in at number 5, we've got the Old Art Hody Jones, which is coming in at about $70. And I don't understand why. This is the one on the list where I'm just like, I don't get it. It's not that good of a card. It's not that playable of a card. And we've seen from alternate arts, etc. in the past, nobody really likes Hody Jones. It's not like Hody Jones is some super popular character. It's not like it's some super playable card. Like, over in Japan, it is on the higher end of old arts, but it is not anything special at all. It is nowhere near the top 5 over in Japan. And look, 7 cost, 8k with Rush, and on play you rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters or Don, and then add a card from the top of your life to your hand. It's decently playable enough. And look, I'm well aware that right now this is generally played as, well, between 3 and 4, pretty evenly split between 3 and 4 copies in a Bonnie deck. But Bonnie is like the 5th best deck in the meta right now. So, you know, we're talking about a card that 3 or 4 of in the 5th best deck in the meta. It's fine. It's a decently playable card. But the 5th best card in the set in terms of value from Premium Booster 01? No. No, this is weird to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying it's not a playable card. I understand it's a playable card. I'm saying seeing this as a top 5 card is weird to me. And it's nowhere near the top 5 if we look at the Japanese prices. In at number 4, we've got Charlotte Katakuri, which is coming in at about $73, and this is one with which I have absolutely no issues. Because, of course, this is a phenomenal card that on play adds a character of a cost of 8 or less to the top or bottom of the owner's life face up. And it's got redonkulous Akira Igawa artwork here, which is absolutely absurd. This is one of my most wanted cards from the set, which honestly makes me sad that it's quite so expensive. For me, it's an artwork thing because I think Igawa is phenomenal, but I know for a lot of people it's also a playability thing. You add those two up together, and that's where we end up. In at number 3, we've got the Boa Hancock from Starter Deck 3. And this is coming in at around about $77. So you will notice the last 3 have been pretty closely grouped together. That shouldn't really surprise anybody at this stage, honestly. Like I say, we're still pretty early on. And Hancock is a phenomenally popular character. That's why OP-07 was the Hancock set. And this artwork is, like, genuinely phenomenal. And it is the blocker that can be played by a trigger and as a 7 Warlord to the Sea. So we kind of get this. It's a pretty playable card. And the artwork is phenomenal, and Boa Hancock is very popular. And then in at number 2, and this is another one which I'm really struggling with a little bit, but it's apparently like $140 right now. It's the Don Quixote Doflamingo Don. And what I will say is, we are very early, the number of sales is very low, and this is quite possibly something which is going to change quite quickly. Because, look, I like Don Quixote Doflamingo as much as anybody, right? And the one from OP-01, the leader from OP-01, is about to get really good again with the new starter deck, all right? So it is, like I said a minute ago, it's a very playable leader, which is going to push the value of the Don up. And Doflamingo's cool. But again, we can look to Japan for instruction here. And in Japan, this is a joint 6th most valuable gold Don. And it's tied with like 3 others. So it's in the top 3rd in Japan. But bearing in mind, this is apparently, according to TCG Player right now, this is a $140 card. It's nearly double the number 3 card in the set. It's way more than double the second highest Don. And I don't get this. This should not be this high. This and Hody Jones are the 2 cards in the set that I look at and I'm just like, they're cool cards. People are going to like them. You would be delighted if you pulled them from a box, but there's no way they deserve to be this high, and I do expect it to be corrected. But in at number 1, it's Manganami. Obviously, in at number 1, it's Manganami. Currently sitting at about a $700 card. But as I explained in a recent video, this is not one of the big manga rares in the One Piece card game so far. This should be settling at nearer a $400-500 card, but probably the lower end of that. So 700 is still way too high for now. But again, it's really early. There have been very few sales of this. So $700 is a nice placeholder for now. And it's going to be the number 1 card in the set by a mile. But expect it to settle far closer to $400-500 than $700. There we go. Also, obviously, God Pack of other manga rares is the best thing to pull in this set. But it didn't feel right or sensible to put that as like the number 1 because it's not one card. It's a bunch, but they're all in the same pack. And it gets very confusing. So, yes, and we've seen enough now. We know the God Packs are real, right? There's no controversy anymore. We've seen a bunch of them get pulled. And that's obviously the number 1, but that's so far off in its own category, we can't put it on the list. So there we go. There's the top 10, and it's a little bit weird, frankly. The Don Quixote do Flamingo Don is clearly way too high. The Hody Jones at number 5 is bizarre to me. All the cards are probably a little bit higher than they should be. And then we got weird things like the Zoro Don being the 3rd highest Don. There's a lot of weird stuff going on right now. But this is a special set with a lot of good hits and all of that. It's going to be a little bit more awkward with this set because we're not used to the special ones. It's going to take a little bit more to settle down. But look, the set is out. We need to have a top 10 list of the most valuable cards to be using as a reference. That's what we're doing here. But like I've said, please be aware of the fact that things will be a lot more volatile here than we're generally used to. There we go. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what your favourite cards are from the set. Tell me what you pulled. Tell me what you want to pull. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.